I mean, who doesn't love an easy chicken dinner for weeknights? I know I do, and I hope y'all do too, so keep watching. Hey friends, welcome back to this week's video. I've got some easy peasy chicken recipes for you, and I hope y'all enjoy them as much as we did because they were all amazing. And one of them was tried and true, and I think y'all already know which one that was. But without further ado, let's get right on in to this week's video and make some winter chicken dinners, y'all. Come on, let's go. All right, y'all, so for supper tonight, this is Sunday, so it's starting out our week. I'm gonna make a copycat Alice Springs chicken. So I've just had some chicken breast here. I got some bacon. You'll need some mozzarella cheese, mushrooms if you like them. If you don't, you can leave them out. And then instead of making honey mustard, I already have my favorite honey mustard, so that's what we're gonna use. And then of course, you know, salt and pepper or whatever seasonings you want on it. Okay, and then we're also gonna make a stick of butter rice. Tamara over at Southern Wife Everyday Life makes this all the time, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it. You'll just need some uncooked rice, not the instant, just the regular long grain uncooked rice. You'll need a can of French onion soup, some beef broth, not the whole can, but I'm just gonna freeze the rest of it. You need about 10 ounces, and this is 14. And then of course a stick of butter. And then I'm just going to cook down some carrots, probably with some honey and a little bit of brown sugar. So that is what is for supper tonight, and I'm gonna go ahead and start by getting this in the oven because it takes about an hour to cook. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, y'all, so we're gonna start out by doing the stick of butter rice first. I just sprayed a little 9x9. I'm gonna take some rice. I'm just gonna put it on in there, and then I'm gonna add the beef broth and the French onion soup, and we're gonna give that a stir. That way everything's combined, and then I'm just gonna sprinkle in a little bit of Badia Complete. The recipe didn't call for it, but I just figured I'd go ahead and just put it on in there. Top it with the butter, cover it in full, and then put it in the oven. I cannot remember the time, but I'll have the recipe linked below because this one you're gonna try. It is delicious. Then here are my carrots. I just put a little bit of honey, brown sugar, and butter in them. I'm just gonna let those cook down, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fry up this bacon to put on top of our chicken. Once this is all fried and nice and crispy, that's when we'll start assembling the chicken. All right, so in this pan, I went ahead and sprayed it. I'm just gonna lay out my chicken breast right here, and then we will start seasoning everything once I get it all put in here. I had about 8 chicken breasts, which worked out perfectly because I think we ended up with 3 of them left over for lunches. But I just season it with black garlic, Badia Complete, and Nature Seasoning, and then I'll take that honey mustard, drizzle it over each of them except for those 3 in the corner because my son doesn't like honey mustard, so I didn't put none on his. But once you have the honey mustard on there, I just kind of brush it around a little bit, and then we'll start layering everything on top, which I start out with the bacon strips. I just kind of tore each piece in half and then laid it on top. And once we had all the bacon on there, that's when we will layer on the mushrooms. And of course, top it with the cheese, bake it in the oven until that chicken is cooked all the way through, which internal temperature of chicken needs to be 165. But y'all, this was absolutely amazing. All right, y'all, now here it is all baked, and y'all, my house was smelling absolutely delicious. So there was the chicken, the carrots, and of course that stick of butter rice. I highly recommend this dinner. If you don't want carrots, just substitute it for any other vegetable. But y'all, this was absolutely amazing. Definitely a winter chicken dinner. All right, y'all, so this one was a new to us for supper. I'm going to make $1 Million chicken casserole. So you will need cottage cheese, some sour cream, some cream cheese, some Ritz crackers, and then you'll also need some cream of chicken soup or whatever cream of soup you want, onion powder, garlic powder, and of course some chicken breast, or you can already use rotisserie seasoned chicken and just pull it off the bone. Whatever you got, you make it work. So I'm going to start off by cooking your chicken, but like I said, if you already had cooked chicken, you would just go ahead and mix everything in a bowl together and dump it on in the casserole dish. But since I'm cooking my chicken, I'm just going to season it with some Badia Complete, brown it really good on both sides, and cook it all the way through. While that chicken's frying up, I just crushed up that whole sleeve of Ritz crackers and added in a couple tablespoons of butter to make that topping to go on top of it. And y'all, it was so good. So I started off by that half a block of cream cheese. I warmed it up in the microwave, put in some cottage cheese, some sour cream, the cream of chicken soup, and the garlic and onion powder, along with some Badia Complete. Y'all know I use that in everything. I'm just going to give that a good stir, and then it'll be time to take that chicken out of the pan, and then we'll dice it on up, add it to that mixture really well. And then y'all, it's as simple as pouring it into a casserole dish and then putting that Ritz cracker topping on top, baking it at 350 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes, depending on your oven, until it is nice and golden and bubbly and brown and yummy. All those words. But y'all, this was by far one of the best meals we had this week, and it was really good. It'll definitely go on our rotation of meals because it was so easy to make, and it was very filling, and even the leftovers, they were good heated up as well. So I hope y'all give this one a try and y'all like it just as much as we do. All right, y'all, so for this Taco Tuesday, we are making cheesy baked chicken tacos. So I just have some rotisserie chicken. I got 2 containers of it. You'll need whatever kind of cheese you want. I just used Colby Jack. I needed a red onion, some salsa or picante sauce, some green chilies, but I decided not to use them. You'll see it here in a minute. Some taco seasoning, and there's that Fiesta Ranch because I'm going to do put that in my black beans when I make them into refried beans. Your stain and stuffed taco shells, and then I'm also going to make some cilantro lime rice to pair with it. Just cooked it according to the package directions, but I do add in some more lime juice and cilantro. So to start off, you'll just dump that package of that pulled rotisserie chicken into a large skillet. I'm just going to go ahead and break it apart because some of those pieces were pretty large, as y'all could see. Once you have that chicken broken into pieces, you want to make sure you put some off into your oven, onto the top of your stove because that makes it taste better as you're stirring it. But there's where I took out the green chilies and just added in the rotel because it called for diced tomatoes and the mild chili. So I just put in a can of the rotel, same thing. Then I'm just going to stir in a little bit of the picante sauce to kind of give it a little bit of moisture on there and kind of break that chicken apart more. Once that is all mixed well, I added in my diced red onion, gave that a good stir, put that lid on it, and let everything kind of meld together. Now here I am just making that boxed cilantro lime rice. And like I said, I cook it exactly how it is according to package directions. I just add in a little bit of extra lime juice and some more cilantro because we like that here. And it paired so well with the tacos and the black beans. But I just take the black beans and, smush them all together and add in everything to it, like that Fiesta Ranch seasoning. But I put the taco shells in a baking dish. I loaded it with the black bean refried beans, and then topped it with the shredded chicken, layered some cheese on top of it, and as y'all can see, these are loaded, but you basically just want to melt that cheese on top and get those shells a little bit more crispier. I did par bake them though, that way the bottoms wouldn't be soggy. And then there is that cilantro lime rice, and I'm just going to go ahead and make these plates up, and y'all, this was delicious. Definitely a must try. All right, y'all, so up next, we're making my tried and true Tuscan chicken. So you'll need some heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese, some butter, of course, and then I use black garlic and Badia Complete to season up my chicken. And then you'll also need some minced garlic and sun-dried tomatoes. I usually use the kind in the oil, but I didn't have any. You'll also need some spinach and whatever pasta you want. And then I had my chicken thawing out because it was still frozen, but that's all right because it worked just as fine. So let's go ahead and get this one started. So first, you want to just melt a little bit of butter in your skillet. You'll need a rather large skillet because you're going to make everything in this pan besides your pasta, of course. But you just melt that butter on in there, put your chicken in there, season it on up, and make sure you brown it really well on both sides, and you'll cook it through. And then once everything is done with the chicken, you'll put a little bit more butter in there and get all those yummy bits off the bottom. Add in that chicken juice from wherever you have your chicken laying on, with that plate, I guess. Add in some garlic to that as well, and then you'll kind of let that come together. I use Better Than the Bouillon, the chicken like paste bouillon, and I add in a little bit of water just to kind of get that sauce going. So once that comes together, then you'll go ahead and add in your sun-dried tomatoes. Let those kind of reconstitute a little bit, and then you will add in your spinach. Let that wilt down. That way everything is nice, you know, and soft before you add in your heavy whipping cream. So once everything is cooked down, you'll add in pretty much that whole container of heavy whipping cream, and you'll do it little by little. That way everything comes together. Now I do want to note, if it's too thin or you think it's not thick enough, you can always add a cornstarch slurry to this to kind of help thicken it up. But once you have your sauce there, you will add in pretty much that whole container of Parmesan cheese as well. Give that a good stir, add in your cooked pasta, stir that together, and kind of let it sit there for just a little bit. And I promise y'all, this will not fail you. It is so good. So good. It is definitely a family favorite. Now I just made some of that Cheesecake Factory bread to go along with it, and if y'all have not tried this bread, I highly recommend it. It is so good. And last but not least, we're going to make the best ever grilled chicken. So I have I have 2 packs of boneless, skinless chicken breast. You'll need some brown sugar, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, some soy sauce, lemon juice. You'll also need some Dijon mustard, salt, of course, and then you'll have to have paprika, basil leaves, oregano, thyme, garlic powder, and onion powder. I know it sounds like a lot, but this marinade, y'all, was to die for. So good. To go with it, I'm making my macaroni salad, so just need some mayo, some ranch, whatever pasta you want, some red onion, tomatoes, and cucumbers. I do add bacon bits to mine too, and sometimes cheese. But let's get started on this marinade. So first up, you'll add some olive oil, and I will have the recipe linked below in my description box for y'all to enjoy. Then you'll add in all of your seasonings that was in that list, because there was way too many to keep up with. Let me just put it that way. Add in your lemon juice, your Dijon mustard, and then I just crumbled up some brown sugar, and we're going to give this a good old mixy. And like I said, I'll have the recipe below. That way y'all can get the exact measurements of what y'all will need. And then I just took those chicken breasts, cut them in half, and I'm going to put a little bit of marinade in my Ziploc bag and put all that chicken on top of it, and then we'll Then we'll pour the rest of that marinade up on top of it. And then kind of let that sit in that baggie in the fridge for a little while. I think I let mine sit for at least an hour. Overnight, of course, is best. But y'all, this come out to be so tender, and it was so flavorful. It is a must try for sure. Now, this is my recipe for my macaroni salad, and I'll also have it linked down below. But I just put however much ranch you want till your little heart's happy. And same thing for the mayo. You know, like Tam says, you season with your heart. And I truly believe that. So once I have the mayonnaise and the ranch stirred in, I add in my onions first because those noodles were still a little warm. They weren't hot, so it's not going to hurt the mayo. I stir them in first. And then I add in my tomato and cucumber, give it a good old stir. Y'all have to excuse me. I had to cough, so I had to stop. But you'll just give it a good old stir like I said. Put your lid on it and let that chill in the fridge until you're ready to eat. This was so good because it was about 85 outside this day when I was grilling, so this definitely hit the spot. There is that chicken on the Blackstone right there. Is there anything better than grilling? Oh my goodness, I just love it. So we just let this chicken cook on up, and I'm telling y'all are definitely going to want to try this. But there's that macaroni salad. I just heated up some corn, and then there is that chicken. That was dinner this night, and it was absolutely delicious. But that is it for this week's video. I truly hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and think about subscribing and becoming part of my YouTube family. I would absolutely love to have you all over here. If you are in need of prayer, please let me know below. I would be honored to pray for you all. Until next time, my sweet friends, God bless. Bye.